compartment 1 in which there is causes related to the outflow tract, including uterus, and compartment 2 is causes related to ovary, and compartment 3 for pituitary causes, and compartment 4 for the hypothalamic
correct.
causes.
Correct. Common, can you tell me common causes? The moment she comes with primary amenorrhea, the previous slide please. Yeah, thank you. What are the common causes which strike your mind?
Ma'am, the most common causes with which a adolescent
You
girl,
can refer to the slide also. It's for your benefit. Yeah.
most common causes that can be anatomical causes, ovarian causes, or the genetic causes.
But commonest क्या है?
Commonest is the gonadal dysgenesis, ma'am.
Correct. So we call it, club it in genetic, right? And then anatomical, you are right. Have you seen any case of constitutional delay?
No, ma'am. Actually, there are lots of patients who come to us who are worried. The parents who are worried that she's 16 and she has not had menses till now. And then they also say that even I was, when I was a girl, my parents said that.
Yeah, so you did have some constitutional
yes,
delay,
so
right?
that is likely to be constitutional.
So there is a
cause.
term called constitutional delay of puberty and development, CPD or CDP. You can call it like that. So some girls do have it, and it is familial, and it is a benign thing, and it gets sorted. Yeah, please. Sometimes there are underlying causes though. Maybe it will manifest in the panel. Yeah. So do you feel that secondary amenorrhea as a clinical entity is very different from primary amenorrhea? Yeah.
Not exactly these days, with especially PCOS being epidemic, epidemic in Asia. There is quite overlap between primary and secondary amenorrhea. Means most of the causes like hyperprolactinemia, PCOS, they are presenting as primary as well as secondary amenorrhea. So there exists an overlap. Even the diabetic children, they are also coming like that.
Correct. So if you see the common causes, then do you want to say which amongst these common causes? See, dysgenesis, Mullerian agenesis, physiological delay, PCO, isolated deficiencies, obstructive problems. No? Have you seen any of them in your practice? Yeah.
Very often in our OPDs, we see cases of Mullerian anomalies.
Yeah. What have you seen?
Mullerian agenesis.
Correct. So that is MRKH.
Yeah,
in
imperforate hymen also.
Yes, yes. Yeah. You want to say anything about the other causes? Like weight
like
loss,
in today,
anorexia,
the lifestyle
hypopituitary.
which is affecting.
Yeah.
So PCOS has also become very common cause.
Correct.
So a lot of every third patient is like PCOS.
Just put it off. Yeah.
So it is also very
You
common
feel
cause.
that it is common cause of primary amenorrhea as well? No, behind. Most often secondary amenorrhea, but I just wanted to highlight here that PCOS can come in as primary amenorrhea also sometimes. Huh? So, yeah, correct. So the less common causes are the ones on the left side. So surprisingly, many of us have seen imperforate hymen, but if you check the global incidence, it looks like it is amongst the less common causes. Other varieties of Mullerian problems are more common. And then you have the AIS, and you have hyperprolactinemia, you have CAH, the congenital adrenal hyperplasia, the more central causes, etc. So, yeah, next. Yeah. Do you wish to take this forward? Yeah. So, identify the major causes of primary and secondary. Yeah. Would you like to add anything here? Like, yes, anatomical, have you come across?
Yes, ma'am. Most commonly genetic, and second most commonly is anatomical defects are seen in teenager girls or adolescent amenorrhea.
Yeah. You can animate it. Yeah. Can Turner syndrome present with secondary amenorrhea or infertility?
Sometimes when it is mosaic or it is 45X.
Bar XX,
yeah.
Correct. That's what is said.
It's a common cause, in fact, Turner syndrome, and it's quite common also. So patients come with, hypomenorrhea or less periods, and then all the stigmata are there. So then maybe we can.
Sometimes the stigma also are not there. It's simply infertility. They don't respond well, and sometimes you do a detailed karyotyping. You find a mosaic. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
They come as infertility.
Infertility, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Ma'am, in about 5% of the Turner syndromes, they can they can have the spotting or the menses.
Yeah.
But they don't progress to the proper जो adolescent वाला चीज होता है. They don't progress up to that.
Correct. So there are
Streak gonads, that's why
correct.
that is small
So there are some conditions, if you can see, there are some conditions which are not asterisked in this. Those which are asterisked cause only purely primary amenorrhea. Those which are not asterisked as intrauterine adhesions who are hypothalamic pituitary ovarian dysfunction, transient dysfunction, they can, and PCOS, they can cause both primary and secondary amenorrhea. Okay? Yeah.
Then if it is pure Turner's, then maybe primary, but if it is mosaic, then
it will present
yes,
as
it
infertility
can.
also. So it goes like that. Okay, I think one thing which only primary will come as MRKH, urogenital system abnormalities, right?
Androgen insensitivity syndrome.
Correct.
And
And
alpha reductase
the
and androgen
mosaic,
insensitivity
the gonadal dysgenesis, mixed gonadal dysgenesis. Yeah?
genesis.
Complete androgen insensitivity.
Correct. Complete androgen insensitivity, where the defect is at the level of the receptor,
yeah.
right? That is where isolated defect we have put.
Defect is-
Even 5-alpha reductase, there's a subtle difference between the two, we'll come to know. One thing which has been missed is intrauterine factors for amenorrhea. Most often they cause secondary amenorrhea. So have you come
Tuberculous
across...
endometritis, I think, is very
Tubercular
common in
endometritis
India.
So
and
is
instrumentation.
it more common in this region
In this
of India?
region, it's common. ma'am.
Tuberculous endometritis, it is common. How do you diagnose it?
Please, yeah.
You are doing endometrial sample you send for PCR?
Ma'am, first of all, we go with the history. If the patient presents with a scanty menses, and if you do the ultrasound, we get the thin lining, thin endometrial cavity on the 3D. There is pockets of fluid in between the adhesions.
That
You can
can
see
happen.
on that on the 3D
That can
scan.
happen. That's a very
Yes, ma'am.
advanced stage. Our
Yes, yes.
interest is in picking up tubercular endometritis so early that you can give them treatment and then it becomes okay. But unfortunately, by the time they have amenorrhea, there is already tissue destruction. Am I right? Yeah?
In unmarried girl, it is very difficult to do means endometrial
Yeah, it will
to
require,
get the sample from.
it will require counseling.
We can send the menstrual blood for PCR
It's
also.
possible, but it may not pick
But
up.
it may not pick up.
pick up. So sometimes we have to counsel and we have to perform under anesthesia. How will you evaluate? Yes, how will you evaluate? You can take this. Yeah. Please, history, what do you want to ask? Yeah.
So how will you evaluate a case of primary amenorrhea? A girl is coming that she has
When
not
a girl
attained
with
menarche
primary
yet.
amenorrhea
Yeah.
come to us, we have to take detailed history of the developmental process, any tubercular endometritis, mump orchitis, or any cyclical pain abdomen. Then we have to search for the causes, and for examination we have to see the secondary sexual characters are present or not.
That is going to the examination. Anyone wants to add that? they
History,
want
we
to
can
take in-
ask about
Physical
chronic headache
examination,
also,
ma'am.
because in some cases of pituitary adenoma or the hyperprolactinemia, these patients might present with headache also.
And we will ask in history whether she has experienced any sudden weight gain or sudden weight changes, any loss of appetite or anorexia nervosa. Is she very conscious about her figure? She is doing belly dancing
she's
or
doing-
excessive
So you
exercise
want
she is
to
doing.
know about the activity and the diet and anything else? Stress factor, because stress plays very important role in controlling this HPO axis. Okay?
Please keep
Yes,
close.
very good.
Yeah.
Any medication, because there are many medication which can suppress this HPO axis and she will have a amenorrhea even before starting the first menstrual cycle. Anyone wants to add anything?
And like
Mic लीजिए नहीं तो
history,
Smell disorder, very good.
Secretion of milk from the breast in hyperprolactinemia. Secretion of milk.
Milk secretion, yeah, very good.
You can refer to the slide also.
and one thing we can also ask, ma'am, like
Please speak,
constitutional factor we have to rule out.
Yeah.
So siblings and the mother at
Yes,
what
so
time?
that also
good.
has been
Family
put up.
history is also
Family
very
history has
important.
also been put up. So, yeah.
Right, very good. So,
Yes. So,
Yeah.
treatment history is also. So, you can see all the questions have been
points
put
have
up.
been addressed.
Development, yeah. Development history. Okay,
Yeah.
we can ask that.
Yeah, any
Yes.
operation done in the
Any irradiation operation,
Right.
infection, infiltration.
Yeah, very good. So we have a very knowledgeable
Panel, yeah.
panelists, so we
Everybody
have
has read
covered
up and
almost
come.
all the
How
points.
to assess, take
So
it
how
forward.
to assess this, for the secondary sexual character, but it has a correlation with the onset of menses.
Anybody can start answering? Yeah? Yeah, start. No delay.
We have Tanner staging, which is there to assess the secondary sexual characteristics,
Yeah.
in which we look at the breast and we look at the pubic, the growth of pubic hair. And first, when we look at the Tanner staging, it is divided into 5 stages: stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how we look at the growth of the breast. The stage 1 is the prepubertal stage, in which it is normal. The second stage is that there is slight growth of the areola and the breast tissue. And third is that there is further growth of the areola, and but the level of the nipple is at the same level as the rest of the breast. Then stage 4 is when there is slight elevation of the growth of the areola, and the last is adult breast, when
Yeah.
which there's only
So,
papillary growth.
Correct. So we can see that external genitalia have not been scored in the female. It's only the breast and the pubic hair. Okay. So that staging we should be very good in. Okay. Yeah. Also, yeah. But of
There is
particular
no Tanner
important for
staging for
amenorrhea
that.
is breast. So anything you want to do, yeah, you can ask.
So she had covered all the points, like what is to see in the stage 1 and what to see in the stage 2, when we will level it as a stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, because it is important. Somebody is having stage 1 breast development, there is no axillary here, the causes will be different compared to who has a full developed breast and amenorrhea.
Correct. So a little bit lower Tanner staging with less pigmentation, right, and amenorrhea and an absent uterus will go with what? Mullerian agenesis, right. So that because if the breast is little indifferently developed, where there's not much pigmentation, beautiful looking girl, it is correct. Then it is androgen insensitivity, right? Okay. So MRKH will have better breast development than AIS. Yeah. So the yeah, Dr. Jha.
So physical examination, you almost include in or include out 80% of the diagnosis. Second is you have done the secondary sexual character examination, and for the confirmation of diagnosis, you require some imaging. Okay? So the first modality you adopt on, like ultrasound. So in ultrasound, what do you look for? Like,
Presence or absence of uterus and ovaries.
uterus and number of follicles, right? Okay, as we are discussing that tuberculous endometritis is very common in our country, and patient presents with the amenorrhea, primary amenorrhea, and the cause turns out to be a tuberculous endometritis. So in that case, what will you see in the ultrasound? It is a very thin endometrium or the septation inside the break in the continuity. There will be a adhesions.
Fluid pockets in between the adhesions. There will be break in the endometrium.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there has to be Turner syndrome stigmata
Other
to be
thing,
picked
like
up.
if you are not able to visualize the adenexa inside the abdominal cavity, you must examine the inguinal canal. Okay?
Yeah. Clinical examination. Further, do you do a perrectal examination? What do you do? What do you look for? Huh? Speak in the mic, otherwise it won't. Yes? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, very good. Vaginal agenesis can be, or obstruction can be, right? And pelvic ultrasound, we have already said that if uterus is not present, then there has to be further look for whether there is any ovaries, and right? And then initial laboratory testing, any hormonal evaluation is having any value?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So you do, routinely you do. In secondary amenorrhea, maybe it's good to do HCG to rule out pregnancy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So further evaluation, when you do, you find that the uterus is present on imaging. What is the next test you do?
We have to rule out Turner syndrome if it's a hypoplastic uterus or streak ovaries are there. So ruling out by imaging, we can also, if ultrasound is not confirmatory and if MRI is available easily, we can go for a MRI. And also we can go for karyotype if symptoms are
Yes.
pathognomonic for Turner syndrome.
Yeah, better to, if you think of chromosomal abnormality, go for karyotyping and then do the
In
FSH.
your practice, what is the first step? Suppose uterus is there and she is not getting menses. It's a primary.
we do biochemical test, TSH, FSH.
TSH, very good.
Yeah,
All of
so
you
that
are
is
ready
how.
for that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
And then if it comes normal,
Then we're for karyotyping. Then we go for
All right.
karyotyping.
karyotyping or FSH?
FSH will do.
So
Also-
karyotyping available easily everywhere?
No.
Sometimes
It must be there, no, in Patna?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it is
Yes, yes.
easily available.
Karyotype
And
is, it's the further genetic testing which is difficult, but karyotype must be there. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense, but not when the uterus is absent. When the uterus is present, you can give, but if there are no secondary sexual characters, then you know that the girl is never been exposed to estrogen, right? So you know that. But you can always give, but because any which way, the only thing is, if it is a Turner's, progesterone withdrawal will not work for her. Will not, because it's not estrogen prime. That is the reason it doesn't have a role in primary amenorrhea, the withdrawal technique. It is only for secondary amenorrhea, only few cases of primary. So we'll go ahead with this, that the next step, if you do the FSH and if it is high, then what do you think?
It's a premature ovarian
Yes,
failure.
so you
or
think about ovarian failure
failures.
and you try to find out what are the different causes. Then you do a karyotype and then you know that if you find a XO, then the woman can have other systemic problems with that, okay? And if that is normal, then you look for other systemic illness which can depress the ovaries or which can cause primary ovarian insufficiency and autoimmune or thyroid disorders or adrenal autoimmune disorders, and then there is another entity which is 17 alpha hydroxylase deficiency, right? Whereas if it is low FSH, then the differential diagnosis depends on whether the breast development is present or absent. That means any estrogen is there or not there. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me. If the FSH is low or normal, what do you think of?
Hypothalamic. Hypothalamic.
Now we are still uterus present. We are still in uterus present.
Take a mic, please.
Low or normal, that means it may be normal also.
Normal
FSH.
means,
Yeah.
so then in that very case we have to investigate for E2. Whether
Yes.
E2 is
We will
present
go
or
to
not.
E2 next. But
If
first
E2
first
is
think
low,
of the
FSH
possibilities.
is low,
Breast
low.
development is normal, the FSH is normal or slightly low, then you know that function is in place, the uterus is acting, it may be a hidden menses like imperforate hymen or any obstructive anomaly.
Cryptomenorrhea.
Yes, or it could be endocrine disorder.
Any other
Even
cause
transfer
to
vaginal
think of?
septum.
If the FSH is normal or slightly lower side, uterus is present, she is not getting menses.
Yes.
So one is-
Cryptomenorrhea.
Yeah, cryptomenorrhea.
Yes.
Other cause I am asking. Anyone want
Yeah.
to add anything?
It's written here. If there is breast development is present, then
If
it
E2
could
is
be
low, then it is
polycystic
POI.
ovarian syndrome. It is there. Hyperandrogenism may be there. Now, if there is no breast development, then you have to think of a central hypothalamo-pituitary disorder, which is not causing. So then we go on to if the prolactins are high, if you do prolactin and the prolactin is high, it gives you a perspective on why there is amenorrhea, because high prolactins will depress the ovary, right? So you have to find out, confirm hyperprolactinemia and then do a pituitary MRI. That everybody agrees. And then also find out if there is severe hypothyroidism, that can also cause hyperprolactinemia. So this very low FSH, I think this we will take it a little later in the flow chart, and we will finish these flow charts and go on to secondary amenorrhea. Alva, Dr. Jha, that's how we'll do. If the uterus is absent, then you all agree that we have to do a karyotype, right? Absence of uterus is a sure indication for karyotype as the first test. Huh? And presence of uterus, FSH is strongly indicated. Absence of uterus, karyotype is strongly indicated, though both may be done in both cases. Now, in this case, you also may have to go for the serum total testosterone. It will help you, right? Okay, in finding out whether there is complete androgen insensitivity, normal male testosterone or 5-alpha reductase, normal male testosterone with a more male phenotype, whereas complete insensitivity is more female phenotype. So we shall go ahead with this flow chart. These are available online, and this is the patient with absent uterus, karyotype, and you can see what happens next. With the karyotype XY, you come to either complete or you come to 5-alpha reductase. If it is 45XS, it is MRKH. And in all these cases, the uterus is absent. So now, Dr. Jha, your case. No, after centrally acting, yeah, you can take this.
So, anyone can define secondary amenorrhea?
Secondary amenorrhea is cessation of mens for 3 months. For 3 months if she has regular menses, or 6 months if she has irregular menses.
Anyone wants to add anything?
Actually, for 6 months, if only once she has bled before, spontaneously she has bled only once, then it is 6 months. Otherwise, it's 3 months.
Okay.
And so,
How will you evaluate?
how will you evaluate case of secondary amenorrhea? Then we will discuss a case of a secondary amenorrhea. So what do you do first?
Imaging and FSH.
First, to rule out pregnancy.
All of you agree
Serum
for
HCG
imaging
is
or
done
anything else is having
First,
secondary amenorrhea?
urine pregnancy test, beta
First of all,
HCG.
pregnancy test should be ruled
Yeah,
out.
so always rule out the pregnancy and then move on to other things. Yeah.
Started 1 minute late. Okay.
Case can be.
No, मैं देती हूँ, case में देती हूँ. Okay, so this flow is very important, that you do the, sorry, you all said that you will do the HCG, right? And then there is a role for HCG positive and negative, there is a role for prolactin. Huh? Next? Yes. And then if prolactin is normal, do a TSH. Prolactin is elevated, manage likewise. And if the TSH is not raised, then you go for FSH and then estradiol. If the FSH is normal, estradiol. And then find out what is the cause, right? So that is easy. You easily reach PCOS if there is clinical hyperandrogenism, then you don't have to do these many tests. So now Dr. Jha will take you through this particular case. I'm going to put the first slide. I'm sorry. नहीं मैं करती हूँ ना मैं करती हूँ. Don't worry. Time is there. Yeah. There you go. Yes.
So we have a 19-year-old girl presenting with the amenorrhea for last 8 months. Her previous cycles were normal. She denied any sexual activity or restrictive eating, any stress or weight gain. Her BMI is 20 kg per meter square. She has a very good developed secondary sexual character. There is no acne or hirsutism. Next, ma'am. So what are the common causes of secondary amenorrhea in adolescent girls? We can start from this side.
Yeah. Anovulation. Yeah. Correct. Yes. That is finished.
He has denied the history
Yeah.
of sexual.
No,
She's
you go
already
ahead. Go ahead on the slide.
Okay.
Hypergonadotropic.
We'll check for her thyroid levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then PCOS, we'll rule out PCOS.
Correct. Any uterine pathology, like
Genital tuberculosis may present
Yes.
as secondary
And-
amenorrhea.
and
If history of uterine instrumentation is there, then
Correct.
that
Definitely.
can be present.
yeah.
How will you further proceed in this case? You have got this much information. How will you further proceed?
We have to take a proper history so that
Yeah.
we can make a few differential diagnoses, and based upon that, we will be ruling out like hyperprolactinemia or
See the reports. See the reports. Okay. So what do you find?
LH is quite raised as compared to FSH. So
FSH
it
is
goes
very
in the
low.
Yeah.
LH is raised, it's in a normal range.
Normal
The ratio is,
Ratio is high,
Yeah.
okay. So, yeah. And the ultrasound is showing right ovarian hemorrhagic cyst of 5 into 5 centimeter with the normal uterus ET is 2.3 mm. So what next? What do you think?
डाल दिया पीछे.
So
What next?
This is a lab report which has, this is a
You said na you will give. Somebody said
Progesterone withdrawal.
withdrawal. Yes.
We can
progesterone
also-
withdrawal.
you will give Orbital.
Correct. But first you should get a period, na?
So you will give a withdrawal, progesterone. Okay, so all of you agreeing for you will give a drug for withdrawal bleeding. So she has been prescribed progesterone but she did not bleed on that. She was having normal cycles for last 5 years and for the last 8 months only she is having amenorrhea. So repeat lab tests were done and it was almost similar.
So we have missed the. Yeah, I think we don't have much time. What did
So-
we miss?
Ma'am, the endometrial thickness is about
Hypogonadism we have missed. Hypogonadotropic hypogonadism. Right? The pituitary has not been functioning.
No, so we, as the patient was considered for idiopathic hypogonadotropic hypogonadism because of FSH was low. So what we missed in the interpretation of her lab results? Can we go back to lab?
Yeah.
Yeah, FSH was very low compared to LH. The normal range is around 3. Minimum it should be 3, but it was less than 2. LH was in the normal range. So what we missed is the specific suppression of FSH. Okay? So what could be the causes of a specific suppression of FSH?
isolated gonadotropin deficiency.
No, the most
Deficiency,
important is
isolated.
when there is
Okay,
a
one difference is
negative
isolated.
feedback. Yeah.
And the second one?
Isolated FSH deficiency is very rare. Isolated GnRH is there, which will suppress both LH and
But it
FSH.
will suppress both LH, FSH. It is specifically suppressing the FSH. So it's a feedback. We missed inhibin. Okay?
So that was what was done, and the
That was
patient
done
underwent.
and inhibin was 1840 and she underwent right salpingo-oophorectomy. We missed the ultrasound
you're finishing.
and a
Give me another
hemorrhagic
30
cyst
seconds,
also.
we'll finish.
So we should have click this diagnosis that she is having ovarian cyst and there is a specific suppression of FSH.
Yeah.
So that could be a ovarian tumor. So one of the differential is ovarian tumors. Okay?
We just conclude now with the detailed management of Turner's because often it gets missed. They have given us few seconds more. So here rather than questions, I think I'll just outline it. That the aim of treatment of primary amenorrhea will be to correct the pathology, helping the woman to have periods, helping her to have a normal sex life, helping her to achieve fertility. And most importantly, in women who are estrogen deficient, it's very important to see that they do not suffer from hypoestrogenism effects of bone and heart. So hypoestrogenism will definitely impact her in adulthood itself, the heart and the bone. Both will suffer in a very major way, lifespan gets reduced. So the HRT for primary ovarian insufficiency, we should all be very well versed for prevention. Next please. So this is next. Yeah, next, yeah. So that is PCOS for which there is a separate lecture. Next please. This is functional hypothalamic amenorrhea. All of you said that stress can cause. So in them, we have replacement therapy, estrogen progesterone replacement therapy to help these women, and after some time it may get corrected also. Next please. So this is for Turner's. First we have to identify the cardiovascular risk and prevent her from developing aortic dissection in case she is suffering from aortic coarctation of aorta may be there, hypertension may be there. So she requires periodic monitoring with cardiac MRI, and then she needs to get prevention for that with the cardiologist. Other comorbidities should be checked, and then short stature should be corrected very early. So if the growth charts for the child is less than 5 percentile, should be picked up between 2 to 5 years of age. So very important that we identify Turner stigma at birth. And then, you know, as early as toddler stage, the the growth hormone therapy should be started. Next, please. Yeah. So if we give a proper estradiol therapy starting as early as 11 years of age with estradiol, with very small doses, graded doses, it is possible to avert all the problems of hypogonadism, and good pubertal development will happen. So she gets height, she gets good good breast development. So yeah, next. So it's important to start therapy in time, and unlike menopause, it is called hormone replacement therapy, because it's not menopause hormone therapy, here it is replacement. So the estrogen is often estradiol only as oral or as transdermal patch, and the progestin is micronized progesterone is the best for them, and lifestyle modification. And the girl should understand her future. Sometimes combined OC pills are also used for matters of convenience. The last slides. Okay, so this is congenital adrenal hyperplasia. No time to discuss this. Next, please. Next, please. Surgical interventions, different types of vaginoplasty. Today, a lot of sessions have been there on this, so we'll not go, we'll conclude. Next, please. These are the vaginoplasties, different types of obstructions which gynecologists should be aware and they should do. Next, please. Yeah, next. This is the laparoscopic technique. So fertility is possible in Turner's, fertility is possible in MRKH also. Fertility in Turner's can be through donor oocytes, and the uterus, if good estrogen treatment is given, uterus can house the pregnancy, and MRKH, they can donate their oocyte and get a gestational carrier or a surrogate mother as it is called in India. Next, please. Yeah, the role of counseling. So what, in the end, what we have to become is extremely good counselors, because these girls have come to us for help. So in addition to giving them, streamlining the diagnosis, management, we have to give her the courage that nobody else can give. So we have to tell her psychological counseling, we have to tell her about education, vocational training, financial independence, because it's unlikely that she will have a normal family life if she cannot bear children. It's possible that she may not be able to afford the treatment we give to her. So it's important she becomes, something on her own. Next, please. That is very important in these girls. Next, please. So I really thank all the panelists. This was a very complex subject to deal with in half an hour. We have done the best we could. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All of you did very well.
For this fruitful discussion. Thank you so much. And thank you organizers for giving us the opportunity to conduct this session on the very important topic.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, experts, moderators, and all the panelists. Now there is memento presentation. Presidential address is in Ashoka Hall, so everyone will move to Ashoka Hall. After this, wait for some time. This memento should be finished, then only. Expert ma'am and moderators, please present the memento to the panelists one by one. And take photograph.
Yeah, we don't miss the presidential address.
रुकिए ना, फोटो तो खिंचा लीजिए. हाँ जाइए ना. And Jyoti ma'am, to the moderators, please present.
Yes.
Panelists, who's left? Please come, ma'am.
ये हमको देना है moderators को.
पहले panelists को.
Panelist का हो गया ना?
एक प्रियंका का बाकी.
बच्चा है.
अब मैं देती हूँ. Panelist का हो गया? इसका ले लो.
फोटो पहुंच जाएगा.
हाँ, इनका भी है.
से लीजिए.
I'll get for moderator.
हाँ. हाँ. And this ma'am, नाम भूल रहा है. Shobha ma'am, you present to the expert ma'am. Jyoti ma'am, you two moderators.
For the moderators, please. This is for the expert.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Yeah, clap.
And last but not the least, can we have this for our convener?
Hi, Shobha ma'am.
She's put my job into problem. She's anchoring better than me now. And we have a group photo, please. All
सब
of
लोग ले लीजिए, इसको ले
With
लीजिए
the
सब.
class. आइए, सब आइए. Let's
Where is
spread
my
out.
co-moderator? आइए.
So we have everybody. Let's spread out.
आ जाओ, आ जाओ, आ जाओ.
हाँ, आगे आ जाइए, आगे की तरफ आ जाइए. सब लोग spread out हो जाइए. There's some more space. मैडम आप शिफ्ट है. हाँ, इस तरफ से आगे. आगे.
एक मिनट चश्मा
All right.
थैंक यू सो मच
Can I have the mic?
थैंक यू सो मच थैंक यू सबको
Thank you, thank you.
There is no problem in your job.
Thank you so much, Shama ma'am, to our convener. She's conducted the session extremely well. Ladies and gentlemen, please, once again, 6 o'clock sharp, do assemble in Hall Ashoka as we have the health minister. And now the presidential address is already begun in Ashoka Hall. Thank you. The presidential address is in Ashoka Hall. Please be present in Ashoka Hall at 6 p.m. as we have the health minister visiting us.